lot of people get hired even after Summer of Code because we see that they've put in the effort and we try and help them on the way. And that's what we're trying to do, right? We're helping you to get jobs. Alright, so that's that. I'm here to talk to you about who wants an IT career. So who are these two guys? Who can tell me? Come on, you've got to know who they are.
Bill Gates.
There's Bill Gates. Who's the other guy? It's even on the slide. Come on. Mark Zuckerberg. Who is he?
Didn't he found Facebook?
Facebook. Mr. Facebook. He's like what? 27, 28 years old. Alright? He wants to aspire to the other guy. You know, richest man, one of the richest men in the world. This kid's already worth $1 billion. Alright, 27 years old. Alright, so a little bit about me. So I come from Victoria. Some of the lecturers you have right now, I have had too. And it's quite scary to see that. I met one the other day, and he claimed to recognise me, and I'm like, no you don't, you're just making it up. Right? But I've also done an MBA down at the DAS school. Very, very important. When I was an undergraduate, I had a C+ average. I spent more time drinking beer and hacking than doing work. But I actually figured out what I got out of university, which is very, very important. I figured out how to research and learn. Alright? I was a terrible student. Terrible, terrible, terrible. But it didn't matter, right? Because I had the right attitude. My career didn't follow a plan. I didn't have this goal of becoming an X or an Y or whatever. I just sort of, things fell into place. Right? As a result, you can see I've worked all over the place. United States, Australia, India. Who would have guessed that? South Africa and New Zealand. I've been involved in starting 2 companies from ground zero. Right? So it's been pretty cool. So I've learned a lot about hiring. Right, so state of the nation. What's the state of the job market at the moment? Right, so it's relevant to you guys. You're thinking about, you're here studying and what's going to happen. Well, times are tough. Okay, so you will code for food. I put up this one because I love this slide. Alright, so times are very, very tough. He wants money because he's going to have to kill those ninjas. Right, but what does this actually mean for New Zealand? Well, the unemployment report came out last week. Okay, so we have 140,000 people unemployed, 6% of the workforce. Alright, so what's bad about this is this graph over here. Okay, see this trend. So it's dropped by 15k, I think, or 20k in the last quarter. But I don't think that that's going to continue down, right? It's going to flatten out. Right, so we've got a problem that we've got growing unemployment. And this makes it hard because there are less jobs. Alright? So the people are not hiring as many people. Okay? So that's not so good for you guys. Why? Because they're being more picky. This is actually a shot of an interview from Summer of Code 2 years ago. And this guy got hired by this company, but look at the face of those employees. Is he getting grilled or what? Okay? So employees are very, very picky. Okay? They want people with more experience. They're telling us they want people with more experience. And they're doing another thing which is unusual. They're not hiring for the bench. Very, very common for companies is they hire graduates and put them on the bench, which means they hire you to start training you, and then when a job comes along, a project for them, they put you on the job, right? But now they're not even hiring from the bench. They're basically saying we're only going to hire you as a graduate if we have a set project. And this is unheard of. This hasn't happened for like 15 years, okay? So there are very, very few jobs out there for graduates at the moment, right? So it's getting pretty tough. So that's what I think of that. Crap. All right, not very good at all. So Summer of Code, Summer of Tech. I keep saying Summer of Code, but Summer of Tech to the rescue. So at the end of this last Summer of Code, we talked to all of the companies involved. So there are 35 companies, including the trade me's and all that sort of stuff. And we asked them very important questions. What do you look for in a graduate, right? So they told us some interesting stuff. First is we hire on personality. Alright? So what does that mean? Do you smile a lot? I don't know. It's a pretty ambiguous statement, really. They hire on team fit. So how you actually work with the people that you're in. Because if you come in and you don't fit in, you cost them money. Right? Who knows who she are? Games guys. Right? So they have projects with 20 or 30 programmers. Right? So working with the team and being a good team member and managing code and doing the work is really, really important. They would rather get two good team players than crackerjacks, superstars. The superstars, if they don't fit in the team, they don't care. They will cost the project. So for them, it's all about team fit, right? Your tech skills are a given. Okay? So the stuff you're doing at university, they expect that you're going to come with good technical skills. It is a given, right? Does anyone know about Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Oh, a few people. So you've done management, obviously. It's a guy who basically figured out what are the base needs that people need to survive, all right? So they call it tech skills are now basically one of those needs. So they're basically expecting if you walk into a job that you have already the tech skills. Right? You're not a specialist, but you have the good tech skills to get a job. Right? They also want to see more track record, and this is new. So since last time, they're coming and saying, we actually want to see you and have some track record. So this is a guy who has helped us teach Summer of Code. This is open source track record. So it's telling you how long he's been doing certain stuff and all the commits that they're doing, right? So effectively, companies are so worried about picking people, they want to actually see that you've done stuff. So the more stuff that they can see you do, the better. Alright? And you're like, but I'm at university, I haven't done much, I haven't even started. Right? Yes, problem. We have to address it. So there's big more crap. Alright? So now what? Well, we need a new plan. And I put up this quote. It's by a guy called Daniel Pink, and I think it's very, very relevant. So anyone with routine skills can get a job as a programmer. That isn't true anymore. The future no longer belongs to people who can reason with computer logic, speed, and precision. Alright? So the base skills that you pick up doing computer science or engineering is no longer good enough. Alright? Because these guys are saying team fit, personality, track record. Right? I didn't mention tech skills. Not one of the companies said their tech skills weren't good enough. Right? This is why it's a big oh crap. Right. So what do? So every career starts with the first step down a long road. So I'm going to talk about 5 things to think about in your career. So the first one is who are you? Alright? We see a lot of resumes. We went through all 150 CVs last year, all of them. Okay? Boy, did they tell us stuff. I'll get to that on Thursday in the resume talk. Alright? But there's a problem. Effectively, 1 in 3 of those CVs are any good. Alright? So before you even start, out. Alright? Real problem. So what are you all about? And that's one of the things the CVs aren't telling us. They aren't telling us about you. Alright? So without that, it's going to be very, very hard. Okay? School, your entire school system is about making you the same. You are measured in a set and uniform way to measure you all the same. Alright? So think about that. So your entire school career and university is about measuring you the same way. But we don't want robots. You're not the same. You're completely different. Every single one of you have different strengths and weaknesses, right? So your employers don't really care about that. Alright? We want to know what makes you different. Why are you you? We want to know what you're good at. If you're into puzzles, if you're into particular things, it's really, really important to find out why. Right? And what does this lead to? It's about self-awareness. So you need to be really good at figuring out what you are good at and what you can do and what you can't do. Right? Because if you know your own limitations, then you actually are going to be able to do your job and do things a lot better. Alright? I met a guy when I did my MBA, and this is the week before we started MBA, and he gave a lecture on how to study.